The sky over planet Zelion 9 was dark, even during the day. Black clouds floated slowly, glowing faint blue from the strange sun far above. Wind passed through the empty valleys like a whisper, cold, quiet, and full of secrets. In the middle of this silent world, a secret human base sat hidden under rocky hills. It looked quiet from the outside, but inside, something dangerous was happening. Humans were testing a new serum, a strange blue liquid made to increase strength, speed, and emotion in human soldiers. It was powerful, maybe too powerful. They called it Serum 9X. Nobody was allowed near it, especially not aliens, but someone had come close. Very close, far away from the lab, near the outer fence. A young alien girl named Zira walked carefully through the tall grass. Her skin glowed light purple, her eyes large and silver like soft moonlight. She was curious. Her tribe had warned her never to go near the human area, but she had seen strange lights at night and strange sounds. She wanted to know more. Zira was not dangerous. She had no weapons. But she had something else, curiosity and a strong heart. She found a hole in the fence. It was small, maybe made by an animal. She looked around. No one was watching. One step, then another. She was inside. The human base was cold and silent. Metal walls, bright lights, strange smells. Zira had never seen anything like this. She walked quietly, hiding behind crates and machines. She didn't understand what she was looking at. But then, she found a door half open. Inside, glowing blue vials stood on metal shelves. The room smelled sharp, like metal and chemicals. One of the bottles was broken. Liquid was dripping onto the floor. Zyra moved closer. She didn't know it was dangerous. She thought maybe it was water. She touched a drop with her finger. It felt warm. Strange, her throat was dry. Maybe this was something she could drink? She looked around. No one was there. She picked up the broken vial and drank. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, everything changed. Zira fell to her knees. Her heart was beating fast, too fast. Her eyes turned bright. Her skin glowed brighter. She felt like fire was running through her body. Then came something else. A feeling she couldn't explain. Her body felt stronger, her hearing sharper. But also, she felt strange emotions. Heat, confusion, a strong pull. Like she wanted something. Needed something. She gasped. What had she done? Suddenly, a loud alarm broke the silence. Red lights began to flash. Warning. Unauthorized entry. Alien detected. Zira stood up, scared. Her legs were shaking, but not from weakness. From too much power. Her hands sparked with strange blue energy. She ran. Back in the control room, a young soldier named Lucas heard the alarm. He was only 23, still learning, but smart and fast. Zone 4 breach, the officer said. Alien life form inside lab. Lucas grabbed his weapon. He had never seen a real alien before. Only training videos. He ran through the halls, heart pounding. In the distance, he saw her. Zyra. She was glowing. Her eyes wild, full of confusion and fear. And yet, something about her was beautiful. Not just her body, but the energy around her. Like a storm and a sunrise together, she looked at him. Their eyes locked. For 1 second, the world stopped. Then she turned and ran. Lucas didn't fire. He should have. That was the order. But something in her face made him stop. She looked lost. Not a threat. Not a monster. Just a girl in the wrong place. Zira escaped through a side door, disappearing into the hills. Inside the base, the officers were shouting. She drank the serum, one of the scientists said. Impossible. It's not meant for alien biology. We don't know what it will do to her. If it mutates her, the commander said. We'll have to put her down. Lucas stood silently. His hands were shaking, but not from fear, from something else. He had seen her eyes, and deep inside he knew this was not the end. This was just the beginning. One alien girl, one deadly serum, and one soldier who broke the rules. What happens when emotion becomes power? When biology mixes with danger? The humans thought they were in control, but they forgot one thing. Curiosity always finds a way. The wind was sharp on Zelion 9. It carried the smell of metal and fire. Somewhere in the rocky forest, Zira ran barefoot, her chest rising fast, her mind spinning. She didn't know what was happening inside her. She felt like she was burning from the inside. Her body was faster, stronger, too strong. She jumped over rocks like air. Her skin was glowing again, even when she tried to hide. The serum had changed her. And now they were hunting her. Back at the human base, Commander Rain stood over the holographic map. She's fast, the tech officer said. Too fast. She's gaining distance. She won't escape, the commander replied. Send out *** Hunter Units 1 through 4 and wake up Project Ember. I want her back alive. Or dead. He turned to Lucas. You saw her, didn't you? Why didn't you take the shot? Lucas didn't answer right away. His voice was low. She looked scared, not dangerous. She stole classified human tech, Rain said sharply. She's now a threat to every living soul on this base. Next time, don't think. Just pull the trigger. Lucas nodded slowly. But his eyes said something else. Zira stopped near a river. Her legs were shaking, not from weakness, from too much energy. The serum was still working. Her vision was clearer. She could hear the wind, the birds, even the sound of drones. Far away, they were coming. She touched the water, hoping it would cool her skin. Instead, the water hissed. Her body was too hot. What am I becoming? She whispered. Then a voice echoed in her head, clear, sharp. Target located. Lock coordinates. Prepare to fire. Zira looked up, eyes wide. She could hear them thinking. In the forest above, a squad of human soldiers moved quietly. They wore dark armor and held pulse rifles. She's down by the river, one said. Orders are live capture if possible. A soldier looked through his scope. I have eyes on. But before he could fire, Zira turned. Her eyes glowed like fire, and the trees exploded. Lucas watched from the scout drone feed. Flames burst across the screen. The camera cut out. Signal lost. She's evolving, the scientist whispered. That serum wasn't just a physical enhancer. It's unlocking something else in her brain, something we never tested. You're saying she's telepathic? Lucas asked. Not just telepathic, the scientist said, sweating. She's becoming something new, something we don't understand. Back in the forest, Zira fell to her knees. She didn't want to hurt them, but her body moved on its own. Thoughts were rushing through her head. Human voices, human anger, human fear, and something else. Lucas. His voice came through clearly, like a whisper in a dream. Don't be afraid. She stood up. She didn't know how, but she was connected to him. Back at the base, Lucas made a decision. He wasn't going to follow orders. He packed a small bag, took a hoverbike, and drove into the wild. He was going to find her before they did, not to hunt her. To save her. As night fell, Zira found an old cave. Her skin finally stopped glowing. For the first time since the accident, she could breathe. She looked at her hands. Sparks danced on her fingertips. I'm not human, she said. But I'm not what I was either. Suddenly, a shadow moved. Behind her. She turned quickly, ready to fight. But it wasn't a soldier. It was Lucas. He dropped his weapon. Slowly raised his hands. I'm not here to hurt you, he said. Zira stared at him. Her heart beat faster again, not from fear, but from something deeper. An alien girl with human power. A human soldier who breaks every rule. Two strangers on the run, one secret that could change two worlds forever. But the hunt has just begun, and the real danger is still coming. The cave was silent. Cold wind whispered outside, but inside, it was still like time itself had stopped. Zira sat on one side, Lucas on the other. Neither spoke. She stared at him with glowing silver eyes full of questions, fear, and something else. Lucas broke the silence. I shouldn't be here. Zira didn't move. Then why are you? He sighed. Because I saw you. I saw what you did. You could have killed everyone, but you didn't. Zira looked down at her hands. Faint blue light still danced on her skin. I didn't want to, she said softly, but something inside me. It reacts when I feel scared, angry, even confused. Lucas leaned forward. That's the serum. It pushes emotion. That's how it was designed for humans. More power, more rage. But you're not human. She looked up. I feel everything. Loud, strong, like the world is shouting in my mind. Outside, night covered the world in darkness. A strange moon hung in the sky. Glowing red. Zyr it touched her head. I hear voices. Not yours. Others, humans, soldiers, they're coming. Lucas stood quickly. You can hear their thoughts? Zira nodded. They hate me. Lucas looked outside the cave, thinking fast. They'll track the heat signature soon. She tilted her head. You're not like them. Your voice in my mind. It's quiet, warm. Lucas smiled just slightly. I've never had anyone say that about me before. A strange silence returned. Zira closed her eyes. Her breath slowed. Then something strange happened. Lucas felt a pull in his chest. Not pain. Not fear. But connection. Suddenly, he wasn't in the cave anymore. He saw memories. Not his Zira's. A small alien village. Children laughing. A blue sky over a silver river. Zira holding a flower that glowed like starlight. Then fire, smoke, human machines, screams. The day her world changed, Lucas gasped. He stepped back, dizzy. Zira opened her eyes. I didn't mean to show you, she said. It just happened. Lucas was still breathing hard. You connected to my mind. You shared your memories. Zira looked away. Now you understand why I was afraid. Lucas nodded. And now, I think I understand you. Meanwhile, back at the base. Commander Rain stood in the war room watching a red dot blink on a screen. We've got their location, the tech said. Thermal scan confirmed. One human, one alien. Together. The commander's face was hard. Send the intercept team. And this time, bring the tranquilizers. In the cave, Zira felt the pressure build again. They're close, she whispered. 3 minutes. Lucas grabbed his gear. Can you move? Yes, but I can't hide my light anymore. It grows when they're near. Lucas looked at her hands. They were glowing again, brighter, faster. Then we don't run, he said. We hide in plain sight. He pulled out a military cloak, activated its camo mode. The fabric shimmered and turned almost invisible. He threw it over her. Their faces were close now, too close. I need you to trust me, he said. Zira nodded. I already do. Footsteps echoed outside. Voices. Double quote scan shows they're right here. Search the cave. Stay sharp. 3 soldiers entered. Lucas sat still, holding his breath. Zira's heartbeat was loud, but not in fear. It was like her body was reaching for his, like the serum inside her was bonding to something in him. One soldier stepped closer. Lucas's hand moved slowly to his weapon. Zira's eyes flared under the cloak, just for a second. The soldier paused. Then turned away. Clear. They left. Lucas exhaled slowly. That was close. Zira smiled for the first time. It's not just the serum, she whispered. There's something about you, my body. It listens to you. Lucas felt his heart skip. This was no longer a mission. This was something else. Asterisk, the old station was silent. It sat deep in the forest, forgotten by time. Rusted doors, cracked glass. Dust in the air like memories. Lucas and Zira had been hiding for 2 days. She needed rest. But more than that, she needed answers. Lucas had searched the old military files buried inside the station. The base once tested early versions of the same serum, Project Ember, but something felt wrong. Too quiet, too hidden. Zira sat near a dead screen, her hands glowing faint blue again. I feel different, she whispered. Each hour, the power inside me grows. And something inside feels like it's watching me from the inside. Lucas looked at her. That worried him. He opened a hidden storage box. Inside were damaged data pads, reports, and one locked case labeled Serum 9X Specimen Re. Cracked the lock. Inside were old documents. He read slowly. Serum 9X was never made just to boost human soldiers, he said. It was designed to adapt, to rewrite DNA, to evolve life forms. Zira turned to him. You mean change them? Not just change, Lucas said. It learns from its host. It improves itself based on the body it enters. That's why your powers are growing. The serum is learning your biology. Zira stood up. Her voice shook. Then it's not just inside me, it's using me. Lucas nodded. Yes, and if it completes the process, you won't just be stronger. You'll be something new. Something the humans never planned for. Zira stepped back. Her hands trembled. Light sparked again, stronger than before. I didn't ask for this, she said. I just wanted to see your world. I didn't know curiosity could turn me into a weapon. Lucas looked down at the documents, then stopped. One page caught his eye. A classified log entry. Tested on human subject number 27. Death after 34 hours. Brain overload. Subject lost emotional control. Alien tissue, however, reacts differently, stronger, smarter, more stable. Recommendation: test on peaceful species. Use emotional bond as control trigger. Lucas read it again, slower. Then looked up at Zira. Oh my God, they planned this. Zira froze. What do you mean? Lucas held up the file. They didn't want to test the serum on humans anymore. It was too dangerous, but your species, calm, emotional, peaceful, you were the perfect test subjects. You weren't just an accident. You were part of a silent experiment. Zira stepped back like she'd been hit. No, she said. No, I found the serum by mistake. Lucas shook his head. Or maybe they left it out, unlocked, waiting for someone like you. Zira's body pulsed with energy. Then the screen behind her flickered on. Static. Then a voice. Cold. Familiar. Commander Rains. Zira. Lucas. If you're reading this, congratulations. You've just activated Phase 3. They both stared. The serum was never about soldiers. It was about evolution. And now, Zira, you are proof it works. You're not just infected, you are the prototype. Suddenly, Zira screamed, not loud, but sharp, like pain from inside her skull. Her knees hit the ground. Blue lightning raced up her arms. Lucas ran to her. Zira, stay with me. I can hear. Voices, she gasped. But they're not outside. They're inside me. She looked up at him, her eyes glowing brighter than ever before. I think the serum is awake. Lucas grabbed her face gently, trying to keep her focused. Fight it, he said. You're still in control. No, she whispered. Not for long. Then silence for one breath. And then Zira stood up slowly, calm, focused, too calm. Her voice changed, deeper, layered. Lucas, I am no longer Zira. Lucas stepped back. Then who are you? I am what comes next. A girl touched by human science. A serum designed to evolve. A soul now split between herself and something far more powerful. And the humans? They're not done watching. Because sometimes the experiment doesn't escape. It wakes up. The night sky burned red. A low hum filled the air. Not from nature, from human ships. Silent, cloaked, and moving fast. Zira sat near a dead tree. Her eyes glowed, but this time, they didn't look like her own. Lucas watched her from a short distance. He didn't speak. He was afraid to, not of her powers, but of what was happening inside her. Zira hadn't spoken for hours. Not really. She answered questions in single words, sometimes not in her own voice. Lucas checked his tracker. Nothing. No sign of pursuit, but he knew better. They weren't hunting her with soldiers anymore. They were using strategy. And maybe something worse. Suddenly, Zira looked up. They're close, she whispered. How do you know? Lucas asked. I feel them. Like they're part of me. She closed her eyes. Then opened them slowly. I'm losing the line, Lucas, between me and it. Lucas stepped forward. You're still you. No, she said. I'm changing. Each hour the serum takes more of me. And now it's learning. Something new, how to lie. Far above, in the command ship, Commander Rain stood beside a familiar face. A woman in military gear. Sharp eyes. Cold stare. Lieutenant Arlen, Lucas's former squad mate. I still don't understand, she said. Why not just bomb them from the air? Rain smiled. Because we don't want Zira dead. We want her to believe we're here to help. And if that fails, Rains handed her a sleek black device. Then we kill Lucas, right in front of her. Trauma can reset memory. Wipe emotional bonds. That should trigger a full serum override. Arlen took the device. No promises, she said. He was once my friend. That evening, Lucas and Zira found shelter under a cliff near a dry waterfall. Lucas cooked a small ration. Zira didn't eat. She just stared at the stars. They look different now, she said. How? Closer, sharper. I see shapes between them like maps. Lucas sat beside her. You said something earlier. That the serum was learning how to lie. What did you mean? Zira looked down. I think it's using my voice, talking to you, watching what you say, testing how far you'll go to save me. Lucas's jaw tightened. Then let it watch. Because I'll go all the way. A noise, soft but trained ears catch it. Lucas stood, grabbing his weapon. Who's there? Footsteps, then a voice from the dark. Easy, soldier. Lucas froze. That voice. That calm, firm tone. Arlen. She stepped out, gun lowered. Hands raised. Lucas aimed. Don't. I'm not here to kill you. Zira stood behind him, silent, watching. What are you doing here, Arlen? She looked at Zira. You've made a mess. Haven't you? Lucas stepped between them. Answer me. Arlen held up a tablet. A message flashed across the screen. They're going to reset her. Full serum overwrite. I'm here to stop it. Lucas narrowed his eyes. Why should I believe you? Because I've seen what they did to the others, she said. You're not the first one to connect with the subject. You're just the first. They didn't kill ... yet. Zira's eyes narrowed. She stepped forward. You lie well. Arlen flinched. I'm trying to save you. No, Zira said. You're trying to control me. In one motion, Arlen dropped the tablet and pulled the black device from her belt. A sharp beep. Zyra's body jerked. Blue light surged through her veins. She screamed. Lucas shouted, "Nitrogen monoxide," and tackled Arlen to the ground. The device flew from her hand. Zira fell back, shaking, gasping, her eyes flickering between who she was and something else. Arlen kicked Lucas off. "She's not your friend anymore. She's a weapon." Lucas punched her hard. She hit the ground, unconscious. He ran to Zira. Her breathing slowed. Her hands were still glowing. But now her voice was calm. Too calm. "I saw everything," she whispered. Her plan. The commander's plan. And the truth. Lucas leaned in. What truth? Zira's voice layered again, her own. And something else. "I was never supposed to survive this long. I was meant to break, but I didn't. Now they're afraid of me." Lucas stared at her. Zyri, or whatever she was becoming. Stared back. And for the first time since he met her, Lucas didn't know who was looking through her eyes. Asterisk, betrayal cuts deepest when it wears a friendly face. Now the experiment has awakened. The humans want control, but the serum has its own plan. Coming next, Zira stops running and starts rising. Asterisk. The forest no longer felt real. Colors were brighter than they should be. Sound moved in slow waves. The birds didn't sing. They stopped and watched because something was changing, and the world could feel it. Zira stood at the center of a clearing. Her body pulsed gently, like a heartbeat made of stars. Her skin no longer glowed. It shimmered like liquid glass under moonlight. Lucas stood nearby, silent. He didn't speak. He didn't move, because this wasn't just power. This was becoming. Earlier, after the fight with Arlen, Lucas had carried Zira to a hidden valley, a place he remembered from old maps. A place once marked as unstable terrain. But now, it pulsed with the same light inside Zira. She walked without speaking for hours. Then she stopped and whispered, "This is where I wake up." Lucas didn't understand. "Zira, what's happening to you?" She turned to him. And for the first time, he didn't just see her. He saw through her, like her skin was only a window. "I'm not just me anymore," she said softly. "I'm not alone in here." Lucas felt a chill. "The serum?" She nodded. "It isn't a drug. It's a message. A code." Waiting for a living mind to read it, she stepped forward. The ground under her feet began to grow, glowing with ancient symbols. It was never meant for soldiers. It was never meant for war. The serum was a key. Lucas looked around. A key to what? Zira closed her eyes. To wake up. The language of the universe. Her body lifted slowly, hovering above the earth, not flying. Just drifting like gravity had paused. Around her, the air shifted, colors bent. Time felt slow. Lucas's communicator. The magnetic field around Zira was rising, rewriting the laws of the land, and her voice was no longer her own. It was layered, echoing from inside time itself. "We are the signal sent into flesh. A test. A whisper through DNA. Now. The receiver is awake, and the galaxy will listen." Lucas stepped forward. "Zira, come back. Don't let it take you." Her head turned slowly. "It's not taking me. It was me. I just didn't know." Flash. Suddenly, a shockwave. Silent. Invisible. But everything moved. Birds flew. Trees leaned. Clouds twisted above. And across the stars, something answered. Far in deep space. Hidden satellites lit up. Unmanned probes powered on. Ancient tech that hadn't activated in years. Blinked to life. Earth's moonbase sent out emergency alerts because something had pinged them, and it came from Zira. She fell to the ground, but didn't. Collapsed. She landed, Like someone finishing a thought, Lucas ran to her. "Are you okay?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, but I'm not Zira anymore. Not fully." Lucas didn't flinch. "Then who are you?" She looked at the stars. "I am the first of many, the bridge between thought and code, emotion and purpose." Lucas tried to smile. "Still sounds like Zira to me." She turned to him, and for a brief moment, her eyes flickered silver again. Her voice softened. "That part of me still remembers you." In space, the human High Council gathered dot screens showed the energy spike from Zira's awakening. The serum wasn't a weapon. One scientist said it was a message in genetic code, left behind by something older than us. It needed emotion. To unlock it, it needed someone like her. A general leaned forward. And now? Now, she is broadcasting. To whom? The room went silent. Back in the valley, Zira placed her hand on the ground. And from that touch, something grew. Fast. Crystalline roots, glowing softly, spread from the earth. Not trees, not machines. Something new, something living. And thinking. "This is not destruction," she said. "This is translation. I'm rewriting the land and the language I carry now." Lucas whispered, "You're terraforming." "No," she smiled. "I'm truth forming. I'm making space for what's coming." Asterisk, she is no longer a girl, not just a soldier. Not just an alien. She is now a transmitter. A signal with a soul. The awakening is not an end. It's a message. And someone just received it. The sky above Zelion 9 had changed. There were no clouds now, only light. Thin lines moved across the sky like threads of silver. As if space itself had opened a door. And something had stepped through. Zira stood at the center of a crystal field she had created with a single touch. The ground shimmered with quiet energy, glowing blue-white. She looked calm. Still. But Lucas knew better. Inside her, a war was happening between who she was and what she was becoming. "They heard the signal," she said. Staring at the sky, Lucas followed her gaze. Above them, a shape floated in the clouds. Not a ship, not a creature. A form made of shifting light, like a thought wearing a body. No sound, no heat. Just presence. "This is what the serum was waiting for," Zira whispered. "Not to give humans more power, but to let something ancient speak again. Through me." Back at the human base, alarms rang. Satellites picked up gravitational distortion. Earth's defense network began powering planetary weapons. A final order was given. Eliminate the alien before the transmission completes. Missiles launched. Time was running out. Lucas stepped forward. "Zira, they're coming. They're going to try to stop you." "I know," she said, "and I can stop them." With a thought, but she turned to him. There was pain in her eyes. "If I use that kind of power, I won't come back. I won't be Zira anymore." Lucas said nothing. He just listened. "I don't know if this is evolution," she said, "or extinction. But what's inside me wants to change everything. No war, no hate, just clarity." Lucas finally spoke. "But if you go all the way, will you still feel anything? Will you still remember?" Zira reached out, touched his face. For a moment, the glow stopped. Everything was still. "I'll remember you," she whispered. "Even if I forget my name, I'll remember how you made me feel before I became this." Above them, the shape of light grew larger. Not a ship, a consciousness. It hovered, waiting. Zira looked at Lucas one last time. Then slowly began to rise. But Lucas grabbed her hand and did something no one expected. He placed his sidearm into her hand, looked her in the eyes. "You have the power to change everything," he said. "But if you ever feel yourself slipping, losing who you are, I want you to be the one who decides how this ends. Not them. Not me. You. Zira stared at the weapon. Then at him. She understood. This wasn't a weapon. It was trust. The missiles arrived. 5 of them, each one built to end cities. Zira looked to the sky, closed her eyes, breathed in and exhaled. Everything stopped. The missiles froze mid-air. The wind froze. Even time seemed to pause. Zira's body shimmered, then turned into light. Not exploding. Unfolding. She sent a wave, not of fire, but of memory. Every human soldier felt her thoughts. Not commands, not pain. Just truth. Her first memory of touching a flower. Her fear when humans came. Her wonder when Lucas smiled for the first time. And then, silence. Lucas stood alone. The field was empty. The sky. Clear. Missiles gone. The shape above faded into the stars. And Zira. She was gone. But the planet had changed. The crystals she planted began growing across the land. Slowly, peacefully. No destruction. Only renewal. Weeks later, Lucas sat alone near the valley. He still heard her sometimes. In dreams. A soft voice. A memory. I'll remember. You. Asterisk. She was created by accident. Chosen by design. And saved by a single choice. Asterisk.